Hi, this is the LaTeX foundation session number 2. In this video we're going to introduce groups, brackets, and also trigonometry. First, here are the answers to the assessment that you have for the previous video. You could check your own answer to see if you got these correctly. Okay, today we're starting our video from some basic symbols. The first one is a to the bth power. We have it like this, and for a sub b we have it this. This is very similar to how you type equations in Microsoft Word. Like it's also similar to the thing in LaTeX. And for the fractions, we're using /frac to have our components of the fraction. And for several dots, we have /c dots to represent this, as it might be useful in some equations. Then we're going to introduce some arrows that you might need to use them in chemistry or also in math and other science subjects. For the left arrow, you have /left arrow, and if you want it to be like the double line arrow, you have to capitalize L for the left arrow. And for the right, similar to left arrow, you just have /right arrow, and it will be single line or double line determined by if you're capitalizing the first letter. And also similar to left and right, you could also have up arrow for the arrow going up, down arrow for the arrow going down, and for going up and down, you have up down arrow, and for going left and right, you have left right arrow. And it's simple to see that if you capitalize the letter, it will become the double lined arrows, but like if you have the lowercase, it will be single line. And for the arrow pointing upright, it will be you could see it as the northeast direction, so you have an E arrow. And for going down right, it could be SE for southeast. And also you could capitalize the letter to make it double line, but there's no place to demonstrate it here. And for going left down and left up, it's pointing at southwest and northwest, so we have SW arrow and NW arrow. Then here comes a situation like this. When you're trying to type in a to the bc's power and a sub 2n plus 1 as the whole thing. When you're just inputting them into the LaTeX box, it will not give you the thing that you want as expectation. So we have to introduce the concept of groups. In LaTeX, groups are divided by these brackets called braces. And for this one, you have a to the group of bc's power and a sub 2n plus 1 in the braces to be in this sign. So for this example, you should be typing out these equations. Now you could pause the video and try to type it out yourself. And yeah, now I assume that you've already paused and tried it yourself. Here are the answers for these two equations. Did you type them out correctly? Okay, we already introduced brackets in the last pages, but however, when you are trying to type in the brackets, it might be a little bit hard. Like it might be a little bit different from the previous one. So for parentheses and the square brackets, it's fine for them when you directly type them in, but when you have the braces, when you type it in the box, it will not represent, because it's kind of a thing to determine the group of the braces or the element. And also on the right, when you are attempting to have a large parentheses like around 1 or 2, but when you actually type in the parentheses itself, it will not be huge enough as expected, so sometimes it cannot cover the whole thing, like cover the whole equation. Directly putting brackets are fine for the single lines, except for some situations, but brackets around fractions or higher terms need to be defined left and right to enlarge the brackets. So in this example, you have to have the right slash left, and then have the thing of your parentheses, and have the right slash right for the other part of the for the brackets, in order to make the brackets to fit the equation or whatever element inside. So mentioned there are some situations for the special brackets in this page. So in this page, here are some special brackets, like for the braces, for the norm, and also for the absolute value. So for these ones, when you are trying to directly type them into the box, you will not get the expected output. So in this case, you need to have a right slash between it, like before it, in order to type it. It is like this because they are used to define groups or whatever other things, and or maybe they will have like different meanings. So for the braces, you just have the right slash before it, and for the norm, you have to have the right slash with the one for absolute value, and for the absolute value, you just directly type that in. And also, when you are trying to fit them into a huge one, for the absolute value one, it's also the same, as you just have the right slash left, that parenthesis, that bracket. But for the norm, you will have 2 right slashes as a result, where you have right slash left, right slash, and then have the symbol, and then have your element inside, and then have the right slash right slash, and then the symbol you want. It is same when you apply it to the to one with huge braces. Okay, and then we're going to talk about some trigonometry. When you're typing in or writing the trigonometry equations, you just have to insert the right slash before the trig. For example, if you have cotangent, you just have right slash COT, and they will have it as itself. And also, when you are trying to insert a power after it, it's also fine to do that. And when you are trying to have the parentheses, you also have to follow the parentheses, like the brackets rules that we talked about before. And also for the inverse trig and the hyperbole trigs, they're all applicable for the trigonometry, in case you insert the right slash before the trigs. So here are some examples of typing out trig equations, and also like the fractions, like the brackets, so you could pause the video and try it yourself. Okay, I assume that you've already paused the video and type it out. So the answers for these are like just as what we taught before in the previous pages. Did you do them correctly? Now here are some assessments of typing out equations, and also the assessment of make 24 points by symbols we've learned. You could try to type these out, and the answers of these assessments would also be in the next video, as what you saw in this video for the previous assessment. And thank you for watching this foundation session, and have a great day.